Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This one is number 68 coming your way today. We've got a couple of post-con matches for you guys to sit back, relax and enjoy first before we jump into the live portion of the episode when we take on Inter Milan for leg number 2 of our Champions League first knockout rounds. If you missed the last episode, I recommend you guys go and check it out. There was a new addition to the team. There was also the first leg against our former club, so if you want to check all that out, you'll have to check out the last episode because it will be all about today. But for those of you who did, obviously we go into that second leg having the advantage at 1-0, having gone to the San Siro and scored. And it was a really tough night, that, and I'm expecting very much the same when they come to Germany and the Veltins Arena to take us on. But we'll have to wait and see how that game pans out. First up for us, though, it was Leipzig. And the game was a very poor one. At least the first half was. The best chance coming when Werner tried to cut the ball back into the box for one of his teammates to smash it home. But then we moved into the second half, and I don't know what happened. We seemed to find our rhythm as Richarlison got through. I expected the goalkeeper to come out a little bit quicker. We tried to chip it over the top of him, but unfortunately didn't work out. Luckily for us, though, the bounce was on our side today, and it bounced straight back to the path of the Brazilian, who taps it home to make it 1-0 and kind of get us going in the game, because up until that point, we'd lacked really any conviction, and it was pretty poor, to say the least. Then Dembele sent through Han at the back post to substitute. Got on his shot on target, but he was saved onto the post by Varela. Could have easily been 2-0 Schalke as we went forward again, and this is pretty much how the second half went in this one. Then Dembele's ball back stick, Jimenez keeps it in play, sends it to Han, and Han's deflected shot went all the way through, and it was 2-0 to the home side here. So our unbeaten run continues, because we know for sure from this point, or at least I felt for sure from this point, we weren't going to lose the game, given the circumstances. Leipzig not created anything, and us 2-0 up after 80 minutes. 10 minutes to go. I was pretty confident, to say the least. It was not the best win in the world. Two very scrappy goals, I guess you could say. But then we get this opportunity to grab a third, as it's really nicely worked by Werner and Dembele, as he goes in and finishes it off to make it 3-0. And that was really the only goal we can sit there and say was very nicely worked. The other two were fairly lucky. You know, the first one was scrappy, the ball hitting the goalkeeper, bouncing back to Richarlison. The second one deflected on the way through. I just had to count my blessings really and say thank you that we got the victory here to the boys. 3-0 in the end it was. 3 points as well as we continue the dominance in the Bundesliga. It's still nearly there. I think we're now 8 points clear of Bayern Munich going into this game. So there's still a potential title race on the cards, even though we were running away with it at the beginning of the season. We're still unbeaten as well, of course. There is still that we're trying to do. And as you guys know, I've said it previously, I will say it in the live portion of today's episode as well. Last time I was able to do a full unbeaten season in the league was actually League 1 with Hartlepool in FIFA 17's Road to Glory career mode. So we're going back a little bit of time there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just say that for sure. And back then, our strike partnerships was Villa and Ollie Hill, I believe, in League 1. So quite the partnership, if you want to talk about that. David Villa playing League 1 football. Those were the days. How about that? But following that game was Werder Bremen, and I don't have a clue what happened here as the start of this game comes, and it ended up being Bremen taking the lead. Josh Sargent with the finish. I believe it is Josh Sargent, but I could be wrong. And after 4 minutes, we were 1-0 down. And I was sat there thinking to myself, you know, you talk about that unbeaten run, DJ, you keep talking about it. This might be the game where it doesn't really go your way, because I don't know what happened to concede this goal. Grimaldo brings it down with a poor first touch from the throw-in, gives the ball away. They smash a pass through to Sargent, who just hits it towards Brown's near post. And at this point, I was seriously worrying about this. So I made a change. I did have to keep one mind on the next games coming up. I actually didn't start Dembele in this, but we brought him on for Han after only 17 minutes. It was a change of tactics rather than anything else. Wasn't forced into it. I chose to do it. And it paid off, because Hudson-Odoi got into the box, pulled it back towards Dembele, and the substitute scored to make it 1-1 after 29 minutes. So on the pitch for a matter of 10 or so moments, but long enough for him to make his mark in the game. And although we fell 1-0 down, we were able to bring it back to 1 apiece. From here, I just wanted to kind of go on and smash the game, really. But it didn't necessarily pan out like that. Dembele again gets in here. Should do better with his finish, in my opinion. He's got a 5-star weak foot, remember, guys, as well. So whatever foot you decide to shoot with Ousmane Dembele normally goes in. So that's what I was thinking there with that shot. Richarlison then pulls it back, drags it into the box. He tries his luck as he goes wide. Our top scorer in the Bundesliga currently can't find the mark. And from this point, I genuinely feared, because 54 minutes in, Rashica, ball inside. They have a shot. It's deflected all the way through. I tried to slide to block what I thought was going to be a reaction shot. It wasn't, and he takes him out. And Alexander Arnold concedes the penalty and gets a yellow card. So, yeah, So much wrong there from us. And with 35 minutes left, that was the opportunity for Werder Bremen to take a 2-1 lead. But Josh Sargent steps up, and Frank Brown guesses correctly and saves it. And I felt like justice was done, because I didn't mean to take him out. It was a genuine attempt to block the ball, but he just went over the slide challenge from Alexander-Arnold. And then Dembele found Richarlison moments later, and he made it 2-1 to Schalke. So maybe I didn't need to worry as much as I was. But, you know, when you're on that unbeaten run and you're getting so close to the end, you can almost feel it. Every game then becomes somewhat of a cup final. Even if it's not really, it still feels like that, you know? Especially given the fact I haven't had one in so long that I kind of want another one. This is probably the best chance we're going to get. We're so close to it, as this finish from Dembele, by the way, is unbelievable. To be brutally honest, I actually meant to pit that on the right foot, not the left foot with the curler. But you know what? It is a tremendous finish from Dembele. So fair play to the man himself, who definitely changed the game coming on here. We made the substitution on the 17th minute, and he got 2 of the 3, and he actually also assisted Richarlison. So, I mean, the change is justified. But like I said, every game feels like a cup final when you're trying to go unbeaten. And so the worry here was just because we weren't playing the greatest and giving away the chances we did. If Josh Sargent puts that penalty home, makes it 2-1, we have to come from behind again. I don't know if we could do it twice in the game, but we did anyway. We get the 3-1 win. And that, my friends, is how the 2 games off camera, well, post-com went. It's time now, though, for the live games against Hertha Berlin and the second leg of the Champions League against Inter Milan. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. 11 games remain of the Bundesliga, and once those have been played, we will know if we are champions or not. We are 10 points clear of Bayern Munich, but also still undefeated after 23 league games. There's been moments where it's looked like it wasn't going to go that way. That game last time out against Werder Bremen was certainly one that I didn't enjoy. It was a difficult one to come back in after going 1-0 down, and especially giving away the penalty when we were at 1-1 was very nervy. So yeah, we had to call upon Dembele, bringing him on after 17 minutes. It was a tactical change that we made in that one, and it was one that I felt I had to do. Following this game, though, we go into Inter Milan in the round of 16 of the Champions League for the second leg, and we only hold the 1-0 aggregate lead from the first in the San Siro. So we got to think about that. But I think for the most part, against Hertha Berlin, I'm going to start a really strong team and then make changes. So Elmer Barrett's going to come back in for Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think Richarlison will most likely be playing when it comes to that game against Inter Milan. I'm pretty sure Dembele could play this. In fact, his stamina looks a bit weak. Same with Hudson-Odoi and same with Elmer Barrett, actually. Richarlison has good stamina. So yeah, I think Richarlison needs to start then. And then we'll break substitutions if we need to do it. Werner's going to start up front, and I'm going to switch around the rest of the players as and when. All right, team has been changed. It looks like this then, boys and girls, as you can see. Still strong, still one that should get the result here. And of course, if we need to make changes, we can do that. But I am hoping that we won't have to, because we do have that game against Inter coming up. So, got one mind on that at the moment. So that is the side we're going to go with. It's one that should still be good, though. You guys know the drill by now. It is just taking it game by game, trying not to throw away our unbeaten campaign, and we're so close. This is going to be really tough to continue on towards the back end of this season, because as the games come thick and fast, we've been fairly lucky with injuries, not had any issues in that regard. As I said, there's been a couple of nervy moments, but we are getting so close to an unbeaten season, which I haven't done since FIFA 17 days. So I am looking forward to seeing if we can achieve it here with Schalke as we play in Grimaldo down the left-hand side. It's a little bit easier to do with only having 34 league game appearances as well, instead of the 38 we are used to seeing. Hudson-Odoi! Shot comes in, and Joel will save. Good start to the game. Immediately breaking down the left. Grimaldo's cross not meeting anybody. It was a poor ball in all honesty, but then Hudson-Odoi got on the end of the ball and volleyed it goalwards, testing the palms of the goalkeeper. Here is Grimaldo again, who tries to find a pass inside. Comes to Richarlison. He's got Marino on his right. Left-footed by trade is Marino, so we're going to try and get it on the left. And we've done it, but he can't find the target. How close was this? Because I thought he'd just done enough here to curl it into the back of the net. It's curling. It's not good in the end, and it's not too far away. But not too far, and in the back of the net are very different. So it remains 0-0, but a great start to the game nonetheless. Oh, mistake made by Hertha Berlin, as Hudson-Odoi will find Werner. Werner on it in a flash, and Timo Werner will finish. That is the most Horrific way to concede a goal if you're Hertha Berlin fans, because you've seen your team make a really poor mistake at the back, and it's cost them. Hudson-Odoi nicks in, steals the ball, lays it off to Werner, and Werner finishes for his 10th of the season, I believe, or 9th. He might be into double figures now, actually, so fair play to Werner, but it seems like recently it's been Richarlison scoring our Bundesliga goals. So it's good to see Werner back on the score sheet. Is it his 10th, though? I think it is his 10th, which does take him into double figures. Yes, it is. So he is now in double figures for the season. But when you consider the start he had to life back in Germany with Schalke, and he had something like 3 or 4 in his first 4 games, and now he's only gone to score 10 in 23, it's not exactly what you were expecting when we paid the money to bring him in. He had such a great start. I mean, he's still good getting into his 10th goal of the season. I mean, Lukaku at the moment is a top scorer of the division on 12. So he's not drastically behind by any means. But, yeah, the start he had, I would have thought he'd have hit that ages ago, really. Hudson-Odoi's ball over the top. Richarlison chasing. And Richarlison will meet it as well. Richarlison! Oh, he smashes it over! I didn't think I pressed the shot button. It looks like I've completely mistimed this, which might have been the reason it's gone over. But I didn't think, because I pressed shoot, and then he took like an extra step, and I didn't think it had registered the shot, so I pressed it again, and then completely got the timing really badly wrong. But it's another chance that goes begging, and I feel like we need to find a second goal just to end this one off and not really give Hertha Berlin a way back into the game. Because, I mean, at the minute, we are looking the more likely to grab a goal. They haven't really threatened at all, but it does just take one moment, and whenever the score is only the one goal, I always feel a bit nervous. Here is Marino. Hudson-Odoi coming towards the ball instead of spinning and making a run, which could have really helped us out here, as Werner does very well to keep hold of that. That is one thing that Timo Werner does actually pretty well, is when he gets the ball to his feet, usually. Oh my goodness me, TAA, that is poor. Usually I was going to say, when Werner gets the ball to his feet, he is very good at keeping it, as now there's a problem here. There is a big problem, but they look like they might have wasted their opportunity, Hertha Berlin. He's still here, though. Arana Lopez. I didn't do that. He just couldn't start his feet quick enough to get over and stop it. And now there's a corner ball to be whipped in. And this is the first real test that we're going to have today. It's taken 73 minutes for Hertha Berlin to find it. But they do whip the corner in. Can we get it out is the question. It goes back out to the corner taker as he puts another one in. And TAA heads it clear. Now we have a chance to potentially break away. Richarlison. Hudson-Odoi making the run down the left-hand side. Here he goes, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And he still goes. And it's now Callum Hudson-Odoi to finish the game off for Schalke. Hudson-Odoi off the crossbar. Werner's there. He's offside, I think. He won't count. 13, 12 minutes to go-ish. Somewhere in that region. And it remains 1-0 Schalke. Offside given against Timo Werner. Just going to see the game out now. Nothing drastic. Don't want to lose the ball and give them a chance to counter us. So provided we just keep hold, we should be fine. As Weston McKennie is found in a really good area actually by Werner, who could have had a second there if he wasn't offside, as he takes the touch round the defender. Question mark about that, because he was fouled, but I suppose it is in the box and he didn't really go down, did he? But even so, that's going to see us out, I think. And that is the victory then. A very slender one at that. And it came from the mistake made by Hertha Berlin. But it is Schalke who go on to win the game by a goal to 0. And if Bayern have dropped points, it will put us 12 points, potentially 13 clear in the title race. Good result. And Bayern did drop points. They drew 2-2 with Hoffenheim at the Allianz Arena, which means we do, in fact, now move 12 clear of them in the table. And that is good to see for us, of course. But now we go into the reason you're all here today, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the round of 16, second leg against Inter Milan. They're travelling to Germany to take us on at the Veltins Arena. The 1-0 aggregate scoreline at the moment is what we hold. Whether or not that's going to be enough to see us through, we're going to find out here today. Han's going to start against his former club. I'm going to make sure I don't have any issues with the team selection here. And here it is then. So the side that lines up for us. Frank Brown in goal. Gramado, Jimenez, Stark and Alexander Arnold as the back four. Danilo and Weston McKennie. In the midfield, Gordson, Han and Ousmane Dembele, with Timo Werner leading the line. As you guys know, Dembele's goal is the reason we are 1-0 in front. Paul Pogba captains Inter Milan. We saw their side last time out and we saw how good it was. So we know the players involved. And arguably, if we knock out Inter here, I don't believe there's a better side in the competition at this current time. I think this, when you talk about knockout rounds, this potentially here is already the final. I feel if we beat Inter Milan, there is absolutely no reason we don't go on and win the Champions League unless for like a massive mistake on our part, because Inter Milan are probably the best side in this competition at this current time. You know, we built an unbelievable team over there, and it's going to be tough this second game. But if we beat them, like I said, it should be ours. And the stage is set, my friends, as we get underway here in Germany for the visit of Inter Milan and Schalke. There is 90 minutes plus more coming here if the scoreline is enough to take it to extra time and potentially penalties to decide who will advance through to the next round of the Champions League. It is the holders against the champions-elect in many ways. And there's the shot! Oh, what an effort! Hold on a second. That was Rafinha. How has he nearly scored that from there? How has he got that much power behind that ball to do that? Oh my goodness me, we've just got away with one there. That could have already been Inter Milan leading after a matter of 14 minutes. But I want to know seriously how he's been able to get that much power and accuracy on a shot from there. That is absolutely ridiculous from Rafinha. Nevertheless, we still go on here. Lautaro Martinez back to Ali. Ali's deflected shots found its way through. Oh. And we are 16 minutes here into this second leg, and now we are 1-0 down. Away goal back as well, so our goal over in Italy means nothing. We started off with an absolute flyer here, Inter Milan. I'm just disappointed because we blocked the shot and it's deflected on the way through. And it's gone in the back of the net. And Dele Alli, after 17 minutes, has given them the lead, which means now, of course, we don't sit back. We have to score. And every goal they get here is going to be an away goal for them. So, ideally, we can't let them score again. So, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It's not the start we were hoping for. And we need to sort our heads out very, very quickly, because immediately we're giving the ball back straight to them. Sort it out quickly now. Ali's ball towards Martinez. Frank Brown coming out. And he does enough to put him off there. Sort it out. Here is Dembele from Werner. Ousmane Dembele turns inside, and still Dembele, and still Dembele gets the shot away and finds Leno's hand. I might actually swap wingers here. I want Dembele up against Bakayoko to have a run at him and try and beat him as best he can, because he's going to be the weak point, as we pointed out, for Inter Milan last time. But for the most part, he did all right there, getting on the inside and trying to have that shot. Need to stop Inter Milan from creating again. Han. Here he goes again. Dembele, definitely the lively one tonight for Schalke. In towards the box, pulls it back to Werner. Werner! I have to take another look. How has he missed? How has he missed this? Oh my, I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. Timo, what is that? What is that? Gordson turns Bakayoko. Robinson in the box still. All 6'7" of the big man. As Gordson's cross not delivered. McKennie can't bring it. And he's found the ball inside to Han. Han to Dembele. No, it's not quite gone. And De Ligt will clear his lines as we go into half-time. I don't think we're going to win a cross in that box, so I don't want to have to do it. We kind of have to try and work it along the floor on the edge of the area to really make something happen. Honestly, Werner should have put us in front. That is no doubt in my mind about that. We should be leading. Werner should have scored. Richarlison going to come on for Han. Try and change this one slightly. And I'm actually going to move Dembele over to this left-hand side so we can have a run at Bakayoko. One apiece here. I can't genuinely believe as well how this game's gone. We gave away a sloppy start. Dele Alli's deflected effort goes in. And then Werner misses a sitter. Here he goes. Grimaldo up from left back. He's running out of stamina though. Grimaldo still. McKennie on the inside. Comes towards Weston McKennie to finish. Off the post, and Gordson taps home. Is he onside? He is. Schalke 1-1. 15 minutes to go. The goal though, at the minute, sends us through. But should Inter Milan get another one, they'll go through on away goals. So this is going to be the worst 10-15 minutes we are going to play this season so far. Oh my goodness, we've done it just. McKennie's effort off the post, and Gordson goes in to tap it home. He's just onside, is Noah Gordson, but that is the least of the worries right now, because of course these 15 minutes mean that if Inter score, they go through on away goals, unless we can find another goal ourselves. This is going to be the hardest 15 minutes of football we've played this series, well, this season anyway. Last minute, and should they score now, there will definitely be no time for a Schalke comeback. Ball sent it towards the middle, headed away by Stark. Not won by Gordson. Last minute of the game now. Ruben Neves. Bruno Viana up towards Dele Alli. Ali sends one towards Pulisic. Pogba nearly gets in, and that's the end of the game. Schalke 1-1 at the Veltins Arena. We advance through. Whew. This has not been nice at all. That was one of the hardest games I've played in the series. Second best to a lot in that game. And that's credit to an Inter Milan side that we built, which is just too good by all accounts. But we do it, we achieve, and we get through. That was so hard. I mean, those match facts actually show a pretty close game, but we were behind on possession. We had the same shots on target, one less shot than they did. Player ratings-wise, Gordson gets the goal, gets the man of the match as well for it, which is quite important in the end. They went with a 4-4-2, did Inter in the end. Quite surprised to see that. Could have been so different here. If they'd have just scored their chances, especially that Rafinha one where it came off the bar, if that goes in, I think we lose, honestly. But we didn't. We get the result. We advance through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And like I said to you, before we kicked that game off, I think that game was the final. If we can beat Inter Milan, we should be able to beat other teams in the competition. For me, they were the best side in there. Got a bit of a jam-packed schedule coming up now then. We've got Augsburg to begin the next episode. Leverkusen, Dortmund, Hanover, and then we have Manchester United in the mix with a game against Bayern in the middle. So those three right there are going to be pretty difficult, to say the least. Nevertheless, though, guys, that is going to be the end for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for your continued support on the channel. Really appreciate that too. We are still unbeaten with 10 more league games coming. Can we go the full season without losing a league game? Leave your comments down below, predictions down below, and I'll be intrigued to see some of your comments. Also, Man United up next. Like I said, we've beaten Inter. I feel that they were the most difficult side in this. We'll see if that pans out to be the case. But for now, guys, if you are new around here and like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. We upload every single day. If you also want to notify whenever new videos go live, make sure you have notification bell switched on alongside it. And I will see you all again with another video very, very soon. Have a great day. Catch you again later. Adios.